Hey, folks, happy 3-day weekend for you folks. Hope everybody had a great long weekend. If you celebrate, you're living in the States. Hope you had a great 4th. So let me lower this in my head. Is loud. Why is it so loud? So sorry for the delay. It's been a 3-day long binge. So we were barbecuing and drinking again today. So I'm like, I'm not going to make 8 o'clock. Plus, Brady's running late too. So Brady should be here probably less than a half hour. So he was on his way back from visiting his folks. So he should be here any minute, but we can get started. He said he'll hop in. And I was trying to think of something cool to do, celebrate. Well, this has nothing to do with the 4th of July. But I was trying to think of something cool. So obviously, the majority of folks that watch this are Halloween fans like me. I love my Friday the 13th. But I thought it'd be cool because a lot of the movies, if we go movie by movie, have a lot of the same type of characters. Like there's a sheriff, there's somebody that's going to warn them about something like Crazy Ralph. There's always a lot of mix and match. So I said, you know what? Let's pit these people against each other. And on top of it, the scores too, because I mean, you can argue what you want. We love our Halloween theme, but there's also some good shit. Harry Manfredini knocked it out of the park with some Friday the 13th stuff. So we figured, you know what? Let's see where we are, where everybody lands on this, and just have fun. Hopefully I have no issues because I'm looking at my internet and it seems to be going up and down. So just let me know. But while we wait for Brett, let's see who's in the chat. Lito's here first. What's up, buddy? Probably good for Lito because we're starting a little bit later, so it should be it's 6 o'clock there on the West Coast. There's my buddy. He should be here shortly. Come hang out with us. The hour delay is going to do me in. I'll be passing out. Just keep drinking. Just keep drinking. I mean, come on. Lito's vagina hurts. It's too early for that. Come on. Let's sleep standing up. Gory, what's up? What's shaking? Yeah, it was the same thing here. Busy weekend, a lot of eating, a lot of drinking. I probably put on 10 to 20 pounds myself. We partied hard. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let me know what you guys did in the chat. Hope you guys barbecued, hung out with some friends and family, and it was a beautiful weekend here it's a rare occasion that we had 3 nice days in a row here in northeastern Pennsylvania on the East Coast, because it pretty much rains every day, if not every other day up here. But true to form, it's going to go back to raining tomorrow and pretty much every day for like the next 2 weeks. So, but you know what? At least it spared us a nice 3-day weekend. Let's see. What do you know? Don't we know which? Well, yeah. I mean, as far as a franchise in a whole, not in a whole, as a whole. Let's not talk dirty yet. You kind of know where we stand, but I thought it'd be cool to talk about the characters because you have a lot of crossover type characters, and we can go movie by movie and see where it goes. Hey, Gene, what's going on? And there's my buddy Bill. Bill is in the chat. Bill's got to get his proper intro. I should just move it right to the top.
Fuck the other Everscathed. Fuck you for sending me this shit.
There he is, hanging out in the chat. And look at Colin. Colin, you're still off, buddy? He's still hanging out. It's got to be late as all hell over there in Ireland. Still got 9 days left off. God. I'd be dead. If I had that many days off to just party, I'd be dead. It's hard to decide which one is better because we're both classic. Exactly. I mean, it's a matter of taste, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's which one means more to you. I mean, my favorite franchise is Halloween, but I love the Friday the 13th franchise. It's a close second. And there's the man I've been partying with all weekend. My neighbor Mike. We're going to be sending away Amazon some new livers after this weekend. Hey, Coy, what's going on? What's shaking? So it's 2 a.m. It's after 2 a.m. for Colin. Well, he doesn't have to get up early tomorrow, so good. This is good. Yeah, I hated to push it an extra hour, but we were basically sitting on the back deck having a couple of beers. I knew Brady was going to be late, and I'm like, yeah, I think I better push it up a little bit. Push it to 9 o'clock Eastern, and see where we go from there. But yeah, so I was going to put together like a slideshow of different characters, all this other shit. But you know what? I was outside all weekend hanging out, so I did not. So I found some websites that we can use, and of course I'll give credit to them. But we can compare some of the characters. We can go movie by movie. So you figure you have Halloween from '78, and you have Friday the 13th in 1980. A lot of similar characters. Teens out having sex. There's a sheriff. There's somebody there to warn us of the impending doom, and we can see where everybody lands on it. Hey, this doesn't have to be about Halloween, because I know there's a lot of fans out there that love their Friday the 13th, and I do too. I'm not going to argue. So let's see where this goes. 2:11 a.m. Yeah, in Ireland. I know. God bless him. He's just like me. I'd be up, and believe me, if I had that many days off, I probably wouldn't even get any sleep. I'd be hanging out every night partying. I'd really be in trouble. I mean, this is just a 3-day weekend, and it was a binge. I can tell you guys some stories. Right, Mike? Mike's in the chat. He knows. We had a very eventful Friday 13th. Very eventful 4th of July with a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, a lot of good fireworks, and a lot of shenanigans. So, yeah, it was a good one. Rough. But I'm going to bring up I'm going to share my screen here. And let's do this. Brady will probably join us in the next half hour. Undo entire screen. We're going to share. No, we don't want to see this. All right, we'll start off with Friday the 13th. So we're on the Friday the 13th fandom wiki page. Shout out to them for doing all the work for me. I was going to do my own, but I'm just going to use their stuff, but give them full credit for putting everything together. Come on. There you go. Look at that. We can do on this page. 1 second. Or is it this one? There we go. Like that. So, all right. So here we go. We're in 1980. It's Friday the 13th. So you have your main killer. I mean, there's no spoiling here. Is Pamela Voorhees. All right. So that's your killer. And some can find it hard to believe that she did some of the shit that she did. But hey, vengeful mother. You never know. So, of course, then you have Halloween, which is going to be, let me do this 1 second. So I can toggle between the two. And shout out to, who is this? Horror Film Wiki for the Halloween inflammation. So you have your two main killers, antagonists. Pamela Voorhees, Michael Myers. I don't think there's even a doubt as to who's better in this one. Leo says, well, since Friday the 13th was originated as a clone of Halloween, that's why I thought this would be good, because they do mirror a lot, even from film to film. Except, well, thankfully, Michael never went to space, but we'll get there. Yeah, so there's a lot of similarities. So I thought, you know what, because sometimes, there might be a character that you like better, who's sort of the same in one of the Friday the 13th movies versus one of the characters in Halloween. So I thought, let's be cool to just see where everybody lands. Hey, Paula, what's going on? Yeah, it was a good weekend. It sucks that it's coming to an end. There's always a good way to end the weekend, but yeah, it sucks. It was good having 3 days off. Both movies have a dark opening and have the point of view shot of the villain. Yeah, well, Sean Cunningham pretty much said that's what he did, man. He designed it after that. They saw the writing on the wall, the money that Halloween made on such a short budget, and look what they created. Let's see what's going on. In both movies, you have the villain who drives a vehicle, something that is very uncommon in many slasher movies, although in Freddy's Revenge, he drives a bus. Yeah, I guess, well, it's only one movie, right? Because Pamela Voorhees was driving that Jeep in the first one, and that's it. I guess Jason never got his license, or nobody taught him how to drive, I guess, like somebody at Smiths Grove apparently taught Michael how to drive. So, of course, you have the main people, Michael Myers versus Pamela Voorhees. I mean, I don't think there's even a question of that one. But you also have Alice Hardy, who was our final girl, versus Laurie Strode. All right, so this is a tough one, because this is I do like Alice Hardy, but I mean, come on, Jamie Lee Curtis in the first one. I don't even what's this, Hollywood Squares? Hey, be glad I didn't even put together the presentation I was going to do. So of course, oh Jesus. Trending pages. Oh, I didn't realize it's got this is like a amalgam of all the different movies. So I was like, wait a second, why is Sherry Moon there? So of course, you have your final girl, and yeah, I think it's safe to say Laurie Strode was the better final girl. Of course, Michael Myers the better antagonist. So you have the girls, which let's see, here they don't have them listed by movie. I wish they did. Like here, it's great. They did it by movie. So it's a little bit easier. Here I'm going to have to search. So, all right. So if we look in the first film. So the first film in Friday the 13th, these are the girls. You have Marcy, who is basically, I guess, akin to PJ Souls. because they're both kind of flirty and they got the boyfriend. She bangs Kevin Bacon, and then you have not Marcy. You have PJ Souls banging what the hell is his name? John Michael Graham. Hold on one second. Is Brady hitting me up? He might be looking for the link. I don't think I sent him the link to join. I bet you that's what it is. Look, hold on. You don't need to see that. You guys want to be in our chat. Both movies, exactly. Well, that's what was good. I mean, Friday the 13th, you can argue it's a little bit more of a whodunit. Yep, let me send Brady the link. Hold on one second, folks. I will have to just do this for 1 second. Remove that for a second. Oh, you don't need to see that shit. All right, I'll make myself a little bit smaller. Then we'll get right back to it. Computer's warning you that it's humid out. Yeah, exactly. Let me send Brett the link so when he's ready, he can hop on. Right, hold on a second. Copy that. Send it to Mr. Patrick. All right, that's over and done with. Let's move on. All right, so I mean, Marcy was good. Marcy was my favorite kill in the original Friday the 13th because I thought it was great. The axe to the face was great. You like Kevin Bacon. The young Kevin Bacon was great to have in there. But yeah, the first movie's gonna be tough because I'm gonna keep going on to the side of Halloween. So you can compare them to Linda and Bob, and I'm obviously going to go on the Linda and Bob side. But you also have, let's see, who can you compare Annie to? I guess you can compare Annie to Brenda, I guess. So you have Brenda here, and over here you're going to have, see, I'm going to have to go by it. So they're going by first letter? So why don't I see Annie? Hold on a second. Or they have it under Ben Tramer, Ben Sims. Why don't I see? I see Lee Brackett. Whoever did this, I don't see Annie Brackett. Hold on, let's see. 78 characters. All right, you can do it separately. There you go. Lindsay, Tommy Doyle. Yeah, whoever did this? Who did this? Horror Film Wiki. They completely left Annie off, and they have Ben Tramer in there. Okay, well, I was going to bring her up, but there you go. How dare they? And then you have the kids. You see, there's no kids in obviously in the original one, so we can't really compare them. And then, of course, you do have the Doomsday Warning people, which is Dr. Loomis in Halloween. And you have Crazy Ralph. I mean, granted, Crazy Ralph didn't try to stop him. He was trying to warn everybody. So Sammy Loomis did. So I can honestly say, and I'm sure everybody in the chat can easily say, as far as the first movies in each franchise, I mean, Halloween wins by a long shot. While I do love the original, it does not land at number 1 on my ranking, but it's gained a lot. I think I like it a little bit more and more every time I go visit the sites because I'm not far from the sites. And actually, truth be told, was it Thursday? Thursday, I stopped at the Blairstown Diner and had lunch on the way home. What is going on here? Both movies have someone who would later become an iconic celebrity in Halloween. You had Jamie Lee Curtis, and in Friday the 13th, you had. It's true. I like that. See, you can compare that, and you could argue who was bigger. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis was big, but Kevin Bacon, he was a lot bigger. We're not watching the Pornhub. Somebody just put that there. In both movies, the final girls just find the bodies of all her murdered friends, and one of them is found hanging upside down. Yeah, exactly. It's a mirror image. So we can move on to part 2 because other than that, and they both have a sheriff in it. So you have this sheriff here. We didn't find any boy, Sergeant Tierney, and of course we have Lee Brackett in the OG, and he's not on here either. Oh, geez, whoever put this together didn't do such a great job. There he is, the late great Charles Cyphers. See, now he has Annie. Let me see if I hit Annie. Okay, so she does appear on here, but she was not on the list. So there's Annie. Okay. All right. So I'm sorry for being too harsh on you folks. Yeah, so Lee Brackett, I would definitely say he's better. I mean, some people didn't care too much for Charles Cyphers as a character and found him a little creepy. And here's the creepy scene right here. Hi, Laurie. But who else is here? So there's actually more characters in Friday the 13th, so you can't compare every single one. Actually, you can. There's also this cop too, which is hysterical. He was actually at the last Friday the 13th when I was at Blairtown Diner. He was there. So Officer, was it Officer? It says Officer Dorf. Is that his real name? Dorf. And then you have the diner lady who was at the diner that I was at the other day. So yeah, there's a lot more characters in here, but I would think Officer Dorf. Yeah, I would have to say Halloween obviously wins, even on the character assessment of everybody. You definitely win with Halloween. Well, let's go down to part 2 because part 2 is my favorite in the franchise. So if we go, let's see, is there a way to go buy film on here? Halloween 2. Yeah, there we go. Sorry. So move on to it's like the same people. And they didn't even list everybody, so we'll have to go person to person. So you go. So here you have now you have Jason, who is now the antagonist. So you have this Jason, which is Sackhead, which is my favorite Jason, versus Michael Myers in here, but it's a different Myers because now you get the Dick Warlock Myers, who moved a little bit differently, and some people like better than Nick Castle. I like him. I don't really have a preference. I like them both. I don't think I could pick between the two. Maybe lean a little bit more towards Nick Castle, just for nostalgia reasons. But I saw Halloween 2 in the theater as a kid at 9 years old, and it scared the shit out of me, much more than the original did. So it was just, I don't know, it was just very scary seeing it in the theater. So you have him. So I mean, I would still go with Dick Warlock here. While I do like, was it Warrington Gillette and Steve Dash? So I do like that. So, but I would still give the edge to Myers. Here you have the final girl again, Laurie Strode, versus, why did they have her in here? Oh, here we go. Versus my favorite final girl in the Friday franchise, Ginny. That would be my favorite. So for me, I honestly would have to give it to Ginny in this. I mean, granted, you watch Halloween 2, she got hurt a lot in the original. So, of course, she's going to be laid up in a bed. So she didn't really do much. I get that. The wig was horrible because she'd already cut her hair. But I would honestly give this edge to Ginny. Ginny was badass. So, Final Girl, part 2, I'd give it to her. Let me catch up what everybody's doing here in the chat. Let's see. Well, the opening of Friday the 13th, it does have children sleeping in their beds. True. Yeah, but there's no children in, well, I mean, you have a young Michael in the first one, but that's about it. And Tommy Doyle and Lindsay, I guess you can, they're children, but I would still give it to them. I think everybody would agree. The original Halloween over the original Friday the 13th. Let's see. For golf. Jordan's like, I'll just block myself now. How much have you been drinking today, Jordan, huh? I think the Miss Voice can be seen as sort of familiar to those villainesses in fairy tales where the sweet and kind elderly woman turns out to be someone evil. Yeah, because she did come in like she was going to help. She was going to help her, and look what she did. She just basically, she couldn't contain herself, and then she went crazy. I mean, and that's also a little bit far-fetched because throwing people through windows, I can't see Mrs. Voice throwing people through windows. That was, some of it was a little far-fetched, but it was still a fun movie, still iconic. You can't complain. You have 2 kills by hammer to the head, both part 2s. That's true. That's right. The police officer in part 2 of Friday the 13th, and the security guard, Mr. Garrett. Yeah, good call, Colin. And then you have Paul Hart here, which is, he was busy trying to get in Ginny's pants, and he did. Shout out to him. Good for him. I liked his character. I do like I think it's one of the best parts of the franchise. The exposition he gives of everything that happened with Jason when they were around the campfire was real good. So you basically would have him pitted up against Jimmy the Stalker. Because, you have Lance Guest, you have Jimmy as the stalker who stalked all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, seems to have this giant crush on her and just follows her around. And I mean, granted, he wanted to make sure she was okay, but yeah, he definitely wanted to get into Lori's pants. Big time. So, I don't know. Who would I give it to? I give it to Jimmy the Stalker or Paul. I don't know. I think I'd give it to Paul. Yeah, I think I'd give it to Paul on this one. I think I like the Paul character a little bit better than Jimmy the Stalker. And so that's 2 for me. What's everybody think? Let me know. Who do you give it to? If you had to choose between Jimmy the Stalker or Paul. I'm going Paul. I don't know. We need less Pauls in horror movies and more Jordans. Give my name some respect. God damn it. Is there any Jordan in any horror films? I honestly don't know. You need to change your name. And then who else do we have here? And then here we have Ted, the goofball from part 2. Famously in Just One of the Guys too. And in Christine. So you have him as the goofball friend. And then you go over here, you're going to have... Oh, I don't see him here. Let's see. I'm looking for Bud. You should have Bud here. They don't have Bud here? Bud Scarlatti? Seriously? I don't see Bud anywhere here. I wonder if I search. If it comes up. No, Bud Abbott comes up. I don't see Bud. Let's see what happens if Halloween 2, Second Installment series. Let's see. Yeah, it has a whole everything about it. Probably mentions him here. Oh, here we go. Let's see if it shows up here. Bud Scarlatti. No, there's nothing there. I can't believe that. That's not right. Poor Leo Rossi. Not even represented. That's not fair. But meanwhile, they put Ben Tramer here. And Annie, who you just see for a second on the gurney for part 2. Unreal. Yeah, but I'd probably give it to, I got to give it to Bud. Ted was okay. Although Ted was the smart one in part 2, because Ted stayed at the bar, which I would have done, and he survived. That just goes to show you, don't leave the bar. Stay at the bar. Daniel, what's up? Slasher Fed says, in both Halloween 1 and in Friday the 13th Part 3, you have the scene where the female character mistakes the villain for someone she knows and thinks that it is playing a trick on her. Yeah, right. I guess you have Linda thinking Ghost Bob is Bob. And then, of course, you have, she's, what's her name from Part 3? Thinks Shelly's playing a joke on her. And nope, she gets her right in the eye. I should enter the Bud pages. What's wrong with that? Some Amazing Grace. Sit on my face. All right, let's see what other characters have come up here. All right, so on Friday the 13th Part 2, you also have... you have Jeff and Sandra. Now, they're the couple, they're going to have sex, so you can almost compare them to... I guess you could lump Bud in with this, too, because Bud's going to bang Nurse Karen. Well, he's going to try. Unfortunately, Michael kills him. So I would definitely give it to Karen. Sandra's cute. Actually, although you really can't look at Sandra once you find out that she's actually underage. She's only 16 years old in this film. Yeah, so no. And I guess you can compare Terry, maybe. Terry to... because she's cute as hell, to maybe Nurse Jill. But they don't have this here. I'm pissed. I really should put this shit together myself. I relied on other people. I'm ashamed. Let's see if it's under N. No, they didn't do their homework here. So you have Nurse Jill. I would say probably Nurse Jill. We can compare it to Terry. Both pretty. I'd probably give it to Terry because Terry's got a great ass. So I would probably give it to Terry when it comes to this. And you have Scott there, and you have Vicky. Now, of course, you have the sheriff there. Now it's not necessarily the sheriff; he's the cop. But I would definitely give it to Hunt because you can compare him. And then the Halloween 2 side, you have Hunt, Sergeant Hunt. So I would definitely have to give that to him over this guy. Was it Sergeant Winslow? I think it is. Yeah, Winslow, right there. That's hysterical. They have a little right here. This is Alice's cat that you see in the beginning. But do they have Muffin? I don't see Muffin. They have the cat, but they don't have Muffin. Really? Unbelievable. And they have Pamela Voorhees' head right there. And there's Max. Max is crazy just like us. He's the one that tried to take their stuff. Tried to tow away their truck. But I don't know who you can compare to Mark. You know, there's nobody in a wheelchair. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we can compare Mark's character to Ben Tramer. Right? They both get a really horrible ending, you know? And I love Halloween too. And Ben Tramer, you know, getting hit and getting blown up is awesome. But I don't know, man. Mark's death is pretty much one of the best ones in the franchise, Friday the 13th. So I think I'd have to give it to Mark. Vicky with the stinky cooch. Who can we compare her to? You'd almost compare her to what's the girl's name that gets killed in the house next to the Elrods? Why am I drawing a blank on it? Her name was Andy too, wasn't it? Or was Alice? I think it was Alice. Yeah, her name was Alice. You can compare her to Vicky. There for a brief minute. I mean, you thought you were going to see some of her fun. Annie, you thought you were going to see some of her fun parts, but now maybe, you know, Mark dodged the bullet because she did have to spray a little down there. And I would probably give it to Vicky over her. Over Alice. I'd give it to Vicky over Alice. Her character is a little bit better. And what the characters here we can compare to. So overall, that's pretty. So if I actually started grading all this stuff, I would actually be, I think I would have more points leaning towards Friday the 13th Part 2 than Halloween 2, which is scary. So I might actually lean a little bit more towards that. All right, so Part 3 is going to be different. I don't know how we're going to do Part 3 because Part 3 of Friday the 13th of Halloween, obviously we know has nothing to do with the franchise. And that's not even going to be on here, I would think. Let's see. Oh, no, it has Season of the Witch here. We can compare the characters, though. Obviously, they're not going to be in the same type of a category. But we can compare the characters because I love Season of the Witch. And it has nothing here. They don't even have any of the characters. But we can go off the top of our heads easily and compare characters from Friday the 13th Part 3 and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. That would be easy. Joyce says, I'm surprised they don't have the dead dog, the Sandra, and in the woods. They're missing some big characters. Yeah, whoever put this together did not do a complete thing. Shit, I would have did a better job. I was relying too much on them. I should have came in from the barbecue and got it all done myself. Both Halloween 1 and Friday the 13th Part 6, you have an iconic rock song. In Halloween, you had Don't Fear the Reaper, and in Jason Lives, you had The Man Behind the Mask. This is true. I mean, and then, of course, as we go further, there's a couple more, too, because then you're going to have, like, in Halloween H2O, you're going to have the Creed song, What's This Life For? Part 6, you're going to have Full Shine On. Then the Rob Zombie ones, they're all over the place. There's so much music in there because of Rob Zombie. And you can also say Part 2 had Mr. Sandman. Yeah, so that's true, too, because we're going to compare that and as well as the scores. So for me, I mean, there's no argument. I mean, I love the score to the original Friday the 13th and Part 2. But yeah, I'm going to edge out over Halloween and Halloween 2. They're both going to be there for me. They're definitely better than the first two. But I was curious to see if we get some more people cheering for Friday the 13th in here. But I guess, you know, all our usual suspects are more Halloween than Friday the 13th fans. But if we go to Part 3 of Friday the 13th, which is one of my favorite ones, it's always at the top, near the top of my list. You got Jason Voorhees in here, so he's the antagonist. So I guess you can compare him. If we're going to stick and just go number by number films, we can do Halloween 3. Just compare the characters. So he would be compared to Not necessarily Connell Cochran, because he doesn't do any of the killing. Would have to be his henchmen. So you have the guys in the suits like Dick Warlock. And I don't know. I'd have to give, this is a tough one because those guys really do some kick-ass stuff. I mean, behead people, do some serious shit to some people. But I don't know. I probably have to give it to, because this is one of my favorite Jason Voorhees. I love Richard Brooker as Jason Voorhees. So I'd have to give it to Jason when it came to part 3. And you have Chris Higgins here, which is one of the more popular final girls in part 3. But then on the other hand, you compare, I guess you'd have to compare her to Stacey Nelkin, who I really like too. I'll probably have to give it to Stacey Nelkin. Chris Higgins is good, but I just love Stacey Nelkin's character in that. And granted, they both end differently because obviously Stacey turns out to be a robot. And, she's trying to kill him. But I would give it to her. Give it to Ellie. Halloween 3 was originally going to be an installation for anthology movies. Yeah, it was way ahead of its time. I think it would have done better now. And it probably would have done better if they didn't call it Halloween, or people knew more about it. Both part 3s have introduction of new masks. Good one, Bill. Yeah, right? You get the 3 masks in Halloween 3, and then you get the hockey mask. The iconic hockey mask makes its first appearance. This is very true. Traps Jason versus Trap Chalice. Where did they trap Jason? Oh, in part 3. Did she trap Jason in part 3? Where? I'm trying to remember. Why don't I remember that? Oh, Jordan's speaking in tongues tonight. How much did you drink? And then, of course, you have Rick, who would be, Chris's significant other, and there's no comparison to him and Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins is going to be better. Sorry. There's no argument there. Dan Chalice, yeah, he's a womanizer. He's a drunk. He's a shitty father, but he's a great character. He's better. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, he beats out Rick. And in part, so, yeah. And then you do have the goofy character, which is the Kupfer, Buddy Kupfer, and you have Shelley, who's not necessarily playing jokes, but they're the comedy element. And I'd have to give it to Shelley. I mean, Shelley brought the damn mask, for fuck's sake. If it wasn't for him, if he would have brought a different mask, we would have been screwed. And who do we have that we can compare like Fox and Ali to? And what the hell's the other guy's name? Loco. I didn't realize that. Who we can compare them to in part 3? There's no gang or anything. I mean, I guess you could compare them to Cochran's henchmen, and that's the only thing I can think of. Oh, the traps. Okay, those type of traps. It's a trap. Gotcha. Now I gotcha. Yeah, because Chalice had one thing. Tom Atkins had the big, ugly, weird, wide back. Female cashier was cute. I never realized that. She looks like she stepped out of the Warriors. So yeah, there's obviously more characters in here. It's going to kind of be tough to compare to, but you had Edna and Harold. I guess you can. Those would probably be like Mr. and Mrs. Kupfer. And I would probably give it to Edna and Harold because that whole sequence is great. It's funny as all hell. Poor Harold, just trying to take a shit and just trying to get something to eat, and she's all over him. And now I don't know where we're going to put Dollar Store Tommy Chong. I don't know who the hell we can compare him to in Halloween 3. Dollar Store Tommy Chong. Oh, we could compare him to the drunk in Halloween 3, who played the Colonel in Return of the Living Dead. You can compare him to that guy. Sorry with that bottle. Look kind of heavy. You might as well have a drink. I ain't got no diseases or anything. So you can compare him to them, and I would have to give it to him better. I mean, because the Dollar Store Tommy Chong and his girlfriend was like the worst actress. Yeah, they didn't do anything. If they weren't in the film, they would have mattered a bit. Let's see what are the characters in part 3. Then you have Debbie and Andy. I'm trying to think of. There's no other couple there. because there's no other couples in Halloween 3. So I can't compare them to anything or even Vera. Yeah, I think that's all we can really compare it to the two. And I don't know. I do love my Friday 13 Part 3, but I'm trying to think what movie I could edge out as far as people. And it's almost it's almost dead even with me as far as characters in both films. I don't know which one I would say character wise. Score wise, I do love the cool like disco mix in the beginning of Friday 13 Part 3. I do like that. I love the way it starts. But I would have to give. I mean, the Halloween 3 soundtrack kicks ass. Sorry, it kicks ass. I have to give it that one. In both movies, you have a downbeat ending. In Halloween, Michael's seeming corpse disappears. In Friday 13, Alice is in hospital. Wonders if Jason tried to drown her or if it was just her imagination. Yeah, well, that's it. We didn't find any. Boy, yeah, he's still out there as far as she knows. And same thing, Loomis is looking out into the night sky saying, where the hell is Michael? What the fuck? See, I just was catching up. So that's Part 3. Now, if we move on to 4, now this should be a pretty divisive one because these are two very popular entries in both franchises. A lot of people cite Halloween 4 as one of their favorites, and a lot of people cite Friday 13th Part 4 as one of their favorites. So let's see. Return to Michael Myers right here. Let's see who they so they have Sam Loomis, they have Jamie Lloyd, Michael, Lindsay Wallace. Why? She's not even in Part 4. But technically, she's in the car. I get it with Rachel. But man, whoever did this did a real shit-ass job. All right, so you have a new final girl in. I mean, Jamie's a final girl, and so is Rachel. So, I mean, you can compare Rachel pretty much to, let's see, in Part 4, I guess you can compare it to, hold on a second. What's the character in Part 4? I guess you would have to compare it to, I guess, Trish. And that's a tough one, too, because I like Trish. You have to wonder, okay, so who would you pick as a better final girl? Trish or Rachel Carruthers? I don't know. I probably have to give it to Rachel. I'll give it to Rachel. Then you have young Tommy Jarvis, Corey Feldman, the musician. But I definitely would have to give it. I mean, all granted, he's batshit crazy now, but he was really good in Part 4 versus Danielle Harris. I don't know. That's a tough one. Like I said, this would be the hardest one, I think, when you compare the familiar characters. I love the character of Jamie Lloyd, but I think I'd give it to Tommy Jarvis. Makes masks. He's not afraid to stand up. He's a little perv like me, watching them through the window, fooling around. Yeah, both have child stars, but I don't know. Freddy vs. Jason and Halloween 1 and 4 both have a gang of bullies. Yeah. It's true. I would definitely have to give it to Tommy Jarvis. I think he's got a better, I mean, granted, it's very iconic ending in Part 4 where she supposedly kills the foster mom, which we find out she doesn't. I don't know. I'll give it to Tommy Jarvis, to be honest with you. Jason Voorhees in here, while Ted White was awesome. Yeah, this one was going to be a tough one. Who do we give it to? Ted White? We give it to that Jason Voorhees over, what do you call it? Wilbur as Michael Myers. I don't know. George Wilbur. Do we give it to George Wilbur? I don't know. I'd have to give it to Ted White. Like I said, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, some of these aren't going to be as easy as you think. I would have to give it to Jason Voorhees in here. I think Ted White was awesome in this film. Let's see what's going on here. We both film. You guys talking dirty in the chat? Yeah, I'd have to give it to Jason in this, which is, I love me my Halloween, but I'm just being honest. And then you have the Samantha character, who you get to see full frontal on, and then the kind of almost cheating boyfriend piece of shit, Paulie, because then in the other film you have Rachel Carruthers and Brady, and Brady is kind of a piece of shit, just like Paulie's a piece of shit. But yeah, I would have to give it to what do you call it? Part 4. Yeah, I would just have to do it that way. I think so. Brady being the piece of shit that he is, I'd have to give it to him being the better character. And Sheriff Brackett's daughter. I mean, come on. Cops do it by the book. Both films end with their child characters seeming like they may be the killers in the next film. True. Good one, Bill. Bill's on top today. You obviously didn't drink like I drank today. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. So I would give it to, I'd have to give it to Part 4. Halloween Part 4, rather. And trying to think who else we could get in here. You have the dead fuck and Jimbo. I mean, you have Ted and Jimbo, rather. Who those guys could be like the twits and Vincent Drug. Fuck off, Wade. They could be those. They could be compared to those guys, but obviously, I'm sorry. Ted and Jimbo would definitely would win out over that because that's some good shit in there. Why are you gonna be such a dead fuck? Hey, got a sister. And if you think about it, right here, you have Axel and Nurse Morgan in the beginning who get killed, much like the paramedics in Part 4 get killed. And again, I would edge this group out right here because this is cool as hell. The whole scene with Axel, Jesus, jump dancing Christmas shit. Yeah, man, I'm giving more props to Part 4 than I am Halloween 4. And actually, you have these are the ones right here too. Actually, they're more of the paramedics. Yeah, and then I would give the paramedics in Part 4 of Halloween over these two right here. Trying to think, and then you do have a cop, which I'm sorry, Ben Meeker kicks ass. He's much better. Where's the damn corkscrew? Yeah, so I would give it. I mean, the only thing I wish we did have we had a set of twins in Part 4. We don't have any twins in Part 4. And who was this here? Oh, Gordon. Oh, like they even have these guys. Really, whoever put this together is weird. They have Gordon, a dog. So I guess Gordon was definitely better than what the hell was the name of the dog in Part 4 Halloween? Help me out in the chat. I'm trying to remember. Is it something like Sundance or something like that? Something like that. What the hell is the name of the dog they find in the closet? This is starting to spook me, Doc. When they find a dead dog in the Carruthers house. And the hitchhiker here. Actually, I'm trying to think. Is there a crazy character in here? Because I'm trying to think of somebody we can compare. No, there really isn't. I mean, the only person that's really on the fringes of everything would be the hitchhiker here. And the Reverend in Part 4. But of course, the Reverend kicks ass. He's much better. No, Max was in Part 5. Max was in Part 5. There was another dog. Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday in Part 4. It's starting to spook me, Doc, when he finds a dead dog. So I should have kept scoring this. I'm thinking this is like dead even for me. Part 4. Both Part 4s are almost dead even. Well, as far as the score, the Halloween Part 4 score is definitely better than this. I mean, it's good. I'm not going to say that. But I would definitely edge it out. Halloween 5, 6, and these two, and then Resurrection U and Friday 13 Part 2. You have reprising characters killed off in the very beginning. Part 5. Right. Rachel gets killed. Part 6. Jamie Lloyd gets killed. H2O. Marion Chambers gets killed. And Resurrection. Resurrection, you get Laurie Strode killed. Right, 13 Part 2. Yeah, you have. Yeah, that's true. You're absolutely right. I think 1 second here. There he is. Better late than never. Breathe.
Trip for 5 hours.
Driving for 5 hours?
Yeah, it's a 5-hour trip, arguably. Yeah.
5 hours.
Traffic. Everybody coming home. It's a bad time to do that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of it. You were coming home probably in fighting traffic. That's true.
Oh, we left a little bit later to try to avoid it. That didn't happen. Hey, hi, everybody.
There's Brady. Well, Bob Brady's here. Now I'm having a beer.
Now he's having a beer. I better get one out, too. How's everybody in the chat?
Yeah, we're doing good. We're just doing a little comparison. So we're going film by film and comparing characters to see which one is the better one. And I'm stuck on part 4 because both part 4s are actually dead even for me. I didn't realize it.
Oh, my God.
When you compare the characters, because they're similar characters and different arcs, and I'm like, part 4, I think, is dead even. Now that I'm going through it.
Yeah, it's so tough, Pat, with part 4, because part 4 for Friday the 13th feels like it has a definitive ending. Really, it could, right? But then Halloween 4 has got that twist of an ending that is so damn good. Colin, hey, Michael, Jordan, Slasher Fred, Paula, hello. I won't go all the way down. Pat, when I was on before, by the way, I had no audio. So anything that the alter ego was doing, I don't know what it was.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we're pretty much dead even on 4.
Okay. Yeah, dead even. I agree. I would say so.
Yeah. So let's go to 5.
I think I know where I stand.
You got here just in time. So part 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Part 5, A New Beginning, because we thought it was all over with. look at Joey's picture. That's awesome.
Part 5, baby.
Look at that. Oh, and speaking of which, I'll do a quick unboxing. I don't think I haven't seen him in the chat tonight, but I didn't even open this yet.
Oh, Jeff? Yeah, good. I'm glad you got it.
From D Tiger Entertainment in the chat.
I got this really good, rated very high camera, but it does this auto-focusing. I got to look into that.
Shout out to D Tiger Entertainment, our buddy Jeff, which is in the chat here, as well as our private chat, for sending me, and as well as Brady. Speaking of Halloween 5 socks.
Yeah, I just had joked with them, right,
Thanks,
Pat?
buddy.
Because I knew you and I were in the same boat. We had never seen those before.
No, I never saw them. Yeah,
it's a Canadian company, which would make sense, right?
Yeah, Canadians. Yeah, so shout out to Jeff. That's awesome.
I don't mean to change subjects, but I'm sure you brought it up earlier. Did you watch any of the Ozzy stuff, or no? Did you not order that, or you just saw highlights?
No, I didn't even order. I completely forgot about it. I watched some of it on YouTube. People posted a ton of it last night.
Yeah,
I forgot all about it. Truth be told, I was recuperating from the night before. Friday 5 all the way, titties, great kills, and no Tina from Colin.
Those are the 3 that would probably are good, very defense mechanisms for 5, right?
Yeah. If I have to say which movie overall I would take, as much as Halloween Part 5, everybody hates it, it sucks. It's still guilty pleasure for myself and for Brett, but I would definitely pick Friday 5 because it's just a lot of fun.
You know what? I think that's an opinion, Pat. I was young and the movies were really hitting with me, and 5 was just it was impactful for me at that time. So I think that's why I'll always stick with Halloween 5. But yeah, I think, it's, well, and you don't have a real Jason in the 5th one, but Part 5 condoms. Oh yeah.
Both the posters for Part 4, it shows the iconic mask of the villain. True. Yeah. And then in Part 4 of Halloween, we got screwed because that's not the mask we got. We got Ronald McDonald mask.
You got, in Part 5, you've got long neck Nicolas Cage Myers.
Yeah. So if we go character by character. So, all right. So main antagonist, you have Roy Burns as the copycat killer. And in Part 5, you have whoever did this didn't do all the characters. So it's annoying. You have Michael Myers.
Okay.
And you basically have the Greg Nicotero Michael Myers, which looks like Greg Nicotero's head is, So, I would, no offense to Don Shanks, but I'd have to give it to Roy Burns over his character.
Now, which movie has the better barn scenes? Because they both have significant scenes in a barn, Pat.
The Tower Farm. Yeah, they both have barn scenes, but that is a cool sequence in part 5 with the barn. But I would have to say, shit, that's pretty close to. So I think about it because I do like the scene in part 5 of Halloween. I do like the barn scene in. I don't know. I think part 5 of A New Beginning actually edges it out a little bit because she kicks his ass. She hangs him. He cuts off Ali's arm. You know.
You know what though? Yeah, I would say you have better first responders in Halloween 5, like just from clumsiness.
Yes.
How about that? I always got a kick out of the cop that he rear ends in front of the Myers house. He had that cool voice. Remember that? He's like, "We heard a distress call."
Yeah, we're going to call ourselves Meryl Streep. That's what he sounds like. And he keeps talking to him. Eddie, repeat. And he's like, dude, he's getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah, calm down, Roger Predactor, which we watched over the weekend.
Roger Predactor. Both films have a scene that deal with sweets. Friday Part 5 has a chocolate bar. Halloween has a cookie woman. It's true, Bill. Yeah, cookie, a big woman who works there.
I think I'm drinking the one that I didn't have from our beer tasting.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I actually have the last 3 beers left from this weekend in my possession. It was we'll discuss it offline.
I missed you and Cody. I hopped on right when you hung up, and Cody was still on. When Cody
I was pretty drunk at that point. I'm like, everybody want to watch some fireworks? Yeah, I'm like, let me see who's up. Yeah, it was rough.
That's pretty funny.
Fred says in all the Halloween movies, they seem to have an old classic movie playing on the TV screen, like in Halloween. It has Forbidden Planet, which had Leslie Nielsen, who would appear in Prom Night with JLC. What movie? What were they watching? Yeah, they were watching something in part 5, in A New Beginning. What the hell were they watching? I don't remember.
What were they watching when the one kid's trying to tell the girl that he has a crush on her?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what they were watching.
Laughing at him.
Yeah, she laughs at him.
What a dick.
What a dick move. The radio scene always bothered Michael because that's not how radios work. Which radio scene?
Are you talking about when he's killing the deputy off the wheel? When he's smashing his face on the wheel? Maybe that's what he's thinking of.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Which radio? Let us know. But then who's trying to see? Oh, so you have Tommy Jarvis, and in part 5. I mean, who's the guy in part 5?
You know what's funny? They both have mutes. Tommy Jarvis barely speaks.
Yeah, they both have exactly. There's no Joey to compare it to. There's no Joey Burns in part 5 I can think of.
The only real Joey is our friend Joey.
Yeah, exactly. And they have the final girl of Pam. And I mean, yeah, the final girl is technically Jamie Lloyd in part 5 because even Tina gets killed. I guess you compare Pam to Tina, and I'd definitely take Pam. We don't have any really, really weird dancers in that. Well, I guess Violet can be compared to what do you call it?
Well, they're dancing at the Tower Farm party, aren't they? Some of them.
They are. And you can compare. What the hell was the one? Tamara Glenn. She's cute as hell now. What the hell was her name in it? Sammy.
Was it Sammy? Yeah.
Yep, Sammy. And who can we compare to an annoying Spitz? I don't know. I have to see who.
Yeah, I don't think
Not
it would
Vic.
be. The girls aren't really annoying in that movie, are they? Right?
Oh, the what do you call it? The guy picking up Lana?
Oh yeah.
I would pick him. I'd take him.
Dude, that guy rules.
He's awesome. And he was at one of the conventions not that long ago, too. Remember?
You know what, though? I will admit, okay. Think about all the part 5s of like any movies, though, Pat, right? I'm adding non-horror and horror. Like Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child. I never cared for it. My sister loves that entry for whatever reason. Rocky 5, right?
Yeah, 5s always seem to get a bit. I don't know, man. I love my New Beginning. A lot of people will come around to, but part 5, New Beginning, it's high up for us.
Saw 5.
So if I, yeah, exactly.
I think I've lost track. How many other 5s were there? We're not going to get up to Terrifier 5, are we? Because
I hope
4 is
not.
going to be the last one, I think, right?
I think
Or maybe-
that's going to be a back. I know it's supposed to be a backstory on art, the next one. So I don't know if they're going to go beyond that. I guess if it makes money. Friday 13 Part 5. They were watching a movie, A Place in the Sun with Elizabeth Taylor and also Paul. Okay, yeah, because I did not remember for the life of me what the hell they were watching.
That was Elizabeth Taylor. You're right. Oh, what was that? It's somebody's. The people have talked about it in the chat. Scream 5. I didn't think Scream 5 was that bad.
Scream 5 was okay.
6
Better
was
than-
the one that was.
It was better than 6. Jen's got to hit the bag. You're going to go hit the bag. Be soft on the bag.
Hey, your neighbor, is Mike in the chat? He was in the chat, right?
He was in there a little bit earlier. Yeah, we were. That's why I started later, because we were like barbecuing and hanging out. And I'm like, so you guys supposed to be starting? I'm like, So Brett's running late. I'll move it to 9 o'clock. I said everybody's probably still recuperating from the weekend anyway.
Yeah, I
Let's expect the big turnout.
figure he's happy the Yankees
Finally
broke
won?
their 6th game. Yeah, Cody Bellinger helped. They had a game-winning catch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching some of it. We hit a brewery when we were out today.
Yeah, where was that at?
Next town over. It's next town in New York, Port Jervis, New York.
Is that a place you guys have gone to a few times?
Not in a while. I've been there in a long time.
That was a loud sneeze.
Well, it looks like they got all the names back working on here too. I just noticed that. Remember, didn't have the right names in the chat. It was like everybody's at name.
Oh yeah, it's back.
71 and Nightmare on Elm Street 2010 is a top 3 in the whole series. Ooh, them's fighting words, I think, right?
Wow.
Really? Well, hey, everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's got their
You're right.
tastes.
And I actually don't mind the casting of Freddy. I like that guy.
I like Jackie Earle Haley as I just think it was the script. I don't think it was him at all. I just did a few things in there I didn't care for, but I didn't think it was his issue at all. It's an underrated cut of The Dream Child, which had the extended deaths of
okay.
Andy and Greta. And Greta's death showed Freddy feeding her own insides. Really?
I do love the wild ending of Halloween 5, though. I know it's probably kind of really puts a odd direction of the series, but I just thought it was so different in a good way.
Yeah, hey, like I said, this movie is nostalgic to me more than anything. Is it the greatest movie, Halloween 5? No. But I think I would pick A New Beginning over, because I love A New Beginning. I can watch it any old time.
They waited too long, the rights and everything between. Well, you and I don't need to go down that rabbit hole, I guess, again. But
And as far as the scores are concerned,
Halloween 5 is pretty damn good.
Halloween 5 is pretty good. I mean, Alan Howarth was keeping the flame alive after John Carpenter left.
There was definitely, you know what? If you want to talk leather jacket guys too, the Michael in Halloween 5 is not nearly as good as the 2 greaser leather jacket dudes.
Stop the car, motherfucker! Yeah. Are they showing him here? No.
The only thing that makes that other Michael guy funny is like he could hear Tina just like, I guess she screams his name. It was just like a loud Michael, and then he could hear with that loud engine. What?
What? Yep. Yeah,
priceless.
Yeah, the greasers are cool. We love the greasers that just appeared. Stop the car, motherfucker!
Rat-tatatouille. Motherfucker.
All right, so let's move up to, let's see,
11-0, baby. Yeah.
Part 6. Jason Lives, and we go to Curse of Michael Myers.
This is a good way to do this, Pat, where you get to choose your own adventure from a series.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm like, that's great. I was like half asleep last night. I was thinking, I know we wrote some stuff down, but I was thinking, I'm like, it'd be cool to compare the two, character wise, because there's a lot of crossover character. Stop the car, motherfucker. So here you have Tommy Doyle, which of course they didn't show either picture is the right Tommy Doyle from this film. So shout out to whoever put this together. Did such a great job. Meanwhile, I didn't do it myself, so I'm lazy. So you have Tommy Doyle, who is basically the final boy in this film, and part 6 of Friday the 13th. I guess you can pretty much say Tommy Jarvis, yeah, because you have Tommy Jarvis, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd probably give it to Tommy Jarvis in part 6.
I would too.
A likable character, more of I mean, I do like Paul Rudd in this, but
Mm-hmm.
I would have to give it to Tommy Jarvis.
I give it to Tommy Jarvis as well. As much as I like Paul Stephen Rudd, that's what we knew him from in 1996.
Introducing Paul Stephen Rudd. Then you have Kara Strode. Oh, Jesus, somebody blowing some shit off out there. Kara Strode versus Megan.
Megan. Oh, there's
no contest. No contest.
Yeah, Jennifer Cook is my favorite Friday the 13th female. So
yeah, Megan she just kicks ass. She's just too hot for words, and she's a badass too. So you have
Marion Hagen. Be honest with you, Halloween 6, Pat, it's probably got some of the worst females in the series, don't you think?
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Watch out for the boogeyman. So you have that sister. Not sister. You have the brother's girlfriend. I'm trying to see. See Mike Garris. I guess you can compare Mike Garris. He's the sheriff in part 6, and part 6 of Halloween.
Yeah,
there's no
children in peril. Yeah, Bill. Good point, bud.
There's no children. Trying to think about other characters in here. So yeah, so the brother, Kara Strode's brother, and the girlfriend. I guess you could compare them to. Wasn't part 6 the one with the it was a sleeping bag, right? Come and get me, you big talking man. Was it 7?
That's 7. Yeah, that's Kate Hodder.
Oh no, this is the one with
CJ Graham.
No, I'm thinking of when they're in the car, they're in the woods.
Oh, Tony Goldwyn and
with Tony
the
Goldwyn,
director's wife.
That's it, Tony Goldwyn. So I guess you can compare them to the Kara's Tim Strode and the girl with no boobs.
Get out of the road.
Yeah, get out of the road.
American Express card.
Did you ever think 2010 could have been more well received if Katie Cassidy was the main character and they made Freddie innocent?
Wow, that's a turn.
It's a hot take. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I'd have to think about that for a bit. Not bad.
I'd like to give it to Annie. Hey, we're right there with you. And see, you have Mrs. Blankenship. There's no old characters in part 6 of Friday the 13th. I can remember, right? Nobody you can compare like an old person to. No. Right?
The cemetery guy.
Yeah, that's right. The gravedigger guy.
You think I'm a fart head?
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm a fart head?
I like that guy. He's pretty good. I don't know. I really like Mrs. Blankenship because she was at the first Halloween convention. She was a sweetheart. So, I don't know.
Did you get her to sign something? Shockingly,
I didn't. I met her.
Really?
Took a picture with her because when I got there, she was in the lobby of the hotel and she was taking pictures of fans for free. So that's a picture, Pat, when I dig up all my old hard drives. We'll find that one. That's a good one.
We'll find it somewhere. We'll talk to Bob.
Talk to the Bob. There's a lot of that, Pat. That might be when the channel would have to really start.
Keep getting off track to my bet. No worries. Just rewatch 2010.
Oh, no, don't.
Hours ago. No, don't worry about it.
This is a free podcast, right? Like a free
we're going off the hip here. It's okay. Both Halloween and Friday the 13th both have a character named Annie who gets murdered. Yeah.
How about that? Yeah.
So here, I'm sorry. The edge would definitely go to Friday the 13th part 6.
They have better
character wise.
Part 6.
And this, the score I would give it to Halloween 6, but as far as the soundtrack, that's tough too because they have Brother Kane.
I would say music band soundtracks, the 80s. Friday 13th 6 is big, dude. Yeah,
it is. I mean, because I love me my Brother Kane.
Even though Brother Kane was #1 for a while when this came out, right?
Yeah.
You eat sunflower seeds, man?
What's that?
You eat sunflower seeds?
I haven't eaten them in a while.
Okay, I was just curious. It's funny watching these guys eat them. Anyways.
Oh yeah, the baseball players. Yeah, they just spit them. There must be piles like in the Naked Gun when he's got all the pistachio shells outside the door.
Isn't that Ace Ventura? I think we saw it with Ace Ventura too when he's watching the video of Snowflake. He's putting him on Courtney Cox's desk.
On the Cox.
Cox.
All right, part 7, The New Blood versus Halloween H2O.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of either one, to be honest with you. But all right, so you figure final girl is Laurie Strode. Final girl here is Tina Shepard.
well, you know
I have
what,
to give it
Pat?
to Laurie Strode.
Yeah. And then again, I wouldn't remember the build-up as much. The build-up for H2O, I think if there was any better promotional work done, it was probably with H2O. I know where I'm just doing alternate things that I probably preferred more. There was a Friday the 13th movie coming out every year around that time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So final girl wise, yeah, I'd have to give it to Laurie Strode and H2O because I was never the biggest Tina Shepard fan. Although I love it when she's beating the shit out of, with her mind beating the hell out of Jason because it's hysterical. You have Nick, who's trying to get into her pants, and part 7 you have what the hell's his name? Adam Arkin.
You get with
Will.
Bernie? We're gonna put him with Bernie? We're gonna put him with Terry Kaiser?
Terry Kaiser, I guess, would be.
Terry Kaiser's more of a bad guy, good guy, right? He's just kind of.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of who he could be as far as a character wise, and if there's really nobody that really compare him to an H2O.
There isn't. There's nothing. Hey Daniel, how are you, man?
Nope. But the girls in the New Blood are just completely forgettable versus the girls in H2O, which aren't the best, but they're definitely more memorable. You know, you have Michelle Williams, who was when she was at her nice thick cuteness before she turned into a rail and looks like she's dying of a disease.
You know, it's funny, like, no, there's a bit more people in H2O because you have all the students if you're counting as extras, but either movie doesn't really have a lot of characters.
Exactly. 1 second.
Spiders.
I was like, wait a second, I didn't realize I didn't put it back up on the stage.
But Pat, yeah, the build up for H2O, we were all excited. Jamie Lee coming back, and it was like, ooh.
That had the much bigger build up. Absolutely, yeah. Because
it hasn't aged, and I think that's probably where you and I are coming from, right?
Yeah, so I would I mean, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of H2O, I'd have to edge it out to H2O over the New Blood. And the ending of the New Blood was just ridiculously stupid when the dad comes out. Yeah, no.
Oh God, Pat, did you and I talk? I don't think I ever saw some of the last few Married with Children episodes. I had never seen, shockingly, the one where Pat Morita wants the Dodge. Do
I remember that? Oh,
I don't mean to change the subject. I'm sorry. I just got a text about that episode
from your brother.
I'd never seen it before. It's so funny.
Pat Morita, yeah.
Anyways.
Yes, I would. The endings, obviously, H2O had a much better ending. Hey, you just freaking took Michael's head off versus some jackass coming out of the water for no reason, who should have been dead.
Portrayal of the killer is a lot better in Friday 13th, though, easily.
Yes, as far as portrayed, yeah. Because no offense to Chris Duran, it just wasn't my Michael. So I would, as far as the movie, I would edge it out to definitely H2O because I'll watch that more than I'll watch the New Blood. I'm not the biggest New Blood fan.
It's tough doing this. It's fun though because you realize what things you liked and don't like, but we're probably obviously biased on a lot. So
yeah, that's why I thought this would be interesting to compare.
What else about? I don't know. Friday 13th, H2O's music that got all screwed up with the production of it.
Yeah, the soundtrack is far. Yeah, you could definitely give it to the New Blood as a better soundtrack because even if you listen to both versions of the one from H2O, it's like neither one was really all that great. It was texting me.
I don't want to say a lot more kills, but there's definitely more kills in New Blood, right?
What's that?
There's definitely more kills in New Blood if I'm figuring it here.
Oh, definitely more kills. Absolutely. So the wife's texting me. What is this? She booked something. Booked camping reservations for next weekend. Oh, serious. Oh, not the end of the month. Okay. I was
Start
gonna say,
now,
not this weekend. Next
motherfucker.
weekend's supposed to rain.
Well, I gotta grab my charger here. I got it in my bag.
Plug it in. Plug it in. Plug it in. So yeah, I would definitely edge it out. The soundtrack to A New Blood over the score rather than the H2O score, which was kind of a mess. And then yeah, definitely give H2O. So we go to part 8. Part 8 is divisive as hell because part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan, is a complete shit show. And Halloween Resurrection is a giant abortion. Hey, Davey, what's up? I don't know. The New Blood has a rough soundtrack. I have to fast forward through. It does have but it's like picking the lesser of the two evils. That versus the shit show of H2O, which is basically rehashed Scream. The hell? I mean, he's texting me. He's like, guys, leave me alone. Yeah, so you have two movies that are complete shit shows. You have Jason Takes Manhattan and Halloween Abortion. So this is a tough one. Picking which is the worst movie. Oh, Red, you're on mute still.
Yeah, you're right. This is a tough one, Pat, but I have a clear-cut winner right away. So
if I had to say which movie I would watch over the other, believe it or not, it would be Jason Takes Manhattan.
Same here.
Because I find as bad as the movie is, I find it more enjoyable than Resurrection.
I just the mask and Resurrection, just the look of Myers is just it looks too. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's it look too clean? Maybe is the best way to say it.
It looks too metrosexual.
It just the concept was bad. It sucks that that's Mustafa Khan's last part of being part of the series. But
and Rick Rosenthal directing it because he did. I love part 2, but it was just this movie is not one I really watched hardly ever. Bianca Kalick is cute as hell in this, but she's just not a good final girl. She was great on the TV. She was good on Rules of Engagement on TV. She was great, but she was just horrible in this. And the rest of the characters are completely forgettable. And don't even get me started on fucking Busta Rhymes. Dude, how annoying that was.
I would take Bianca as the final girl better than the final girl Jason Takes Manhattan, but that's just me.
It's like saying hit yourself in the head and then hit yourself in the head again. It's like
the other girl. What's the other girl's name? I forget. I'm sorry. The one in Jason Takes Manhattan.
But the actor's name or the character?
Actress's name.
Here it just says a profile. It doesn't have her name. It's Rennie.
She definitely plays like the vulnerable final girl, right? She plays that pretty well.
Yeah, it's maybe it's a matter of taste depending on what day you catch me on, which one I could tolerate more.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like film wise and this, I can't stand. I can't.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
I just can't accept that. Yeah, they are both bad final girls. Absolutely. And as far as like characters in both, so there's really no. I guess you could say the Freddy character is sort of like, since he's the piece of shit, he could be like the piece of shit uncle in part 8.
Unless you're going to call him Scott Reeves, the one that survives with her, with Rennie or whatever her name is.
Was it Scott or was it Sean? Is it Sean?
The actor's name is Scott Reeves.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, because it shows. Yeah, they didn't. Did this one wiki didn't do such a great job. We should do our own.
We'll get better. I'm going to do the best.
Halloween Resurrection was basically a twist on the Blair Witch Project. I can see the correlation to that. Yeah, like a twist because it was. I guess it was of the time as far as technology, but it's just does not age well at all.
Yeah, Scott Reeves is Sean Robertson in the film. Yeah.
Yeah, it just doesn't age well. Love piece of shit Uncle Charles and Takes Manhattan. He's such a bastard that I enjoy the hell out of.
But dude, you can't beat the Julie. Is it Jules? Right? Is it what's the boxer guy's name? Is it Julius, right? Or
Julius. Yeah.
oh god, that's so funny.
Don't go losing your head. So I guess you could compare him to the idiot guy in Resurrection who's trying to fight him with the knives. Oh shit, that guy. Talking about cooking all the time. He gets himself impaled. But I do like the girl playing the guitar. I think she should have lasted a little bit longer. The Joan Jett girl.
Yeah, we had our we did have our leather jacket guy in this. That's the one that gets his skull crushed
Yes.
in Resurrection. Do we have a leather jacket? Oh, we got the girl leather jacket chick, the metalhead chick.
Metalhead chick. Yep. But as far as like now soundtrack wise, yeah, there's nothing to write home about in Halloween Resurrection at all. And then what do you call it? And I'm trying to fucking look at it here and I'm trying to forget what I'm doing here. In part 8, what the hell was it? I'm trying to think of what was in the soundtrack for part 8 for Jason Takes Manhattan. I mean, the score itself was there's
What's
nothing.
that song? The Creatures of the Sultan of the Night, right? I forget. I should know it.
Yeah, I have to go back and see. The rocker. Yeah, the rocker was cute as hell. I wish she would have lasted a little bit longer.
If Davey brings up the shitty Uncle Charles, yeah, the actor Peter Mark Richmond or whatever. Pat, you ever seen a movie called Pool Hall Junkies? It's kind of like Rounders, but with the billiards is involved. You ever seen that movie?
No.
Oh, what a good film. He's in that movie. He plays like a dickhead rich dude trying to hustle out this hotshot kid that's a real good pool player. Good people in it. Chaz Palminteri. You should look that movie up. Pool Hall Junkies, if anybody hasn't seen it.
Pick it up. Yeah. I have to the darkest of night. The darkest side of night. Yeah. Yeah,
Maybe
actually
you've
the
seen it.
bitchy blonde. Yeah, the one that threw herself at the uncle. She was cute as hell. Trying to give herself an A. Pool Hall Junkies is you have to go check it out.
Christopher Walken's in it. Clint Eastwood's daughter is the female lead, the girlfriend, the fiance. Chaz Palminteri. And how about the Silver Spoons kid? What's the Silver Spoons kid's name? He's the one.
Ricky Schroeder?
Yeah, Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah, very young Kelly Wu. That was one of the best deaths when he just takes and just slams her against the dance floor.
He looked badass, like the silky, wet Jason, right?
And now this is where it's going to be a little bit hard because now you have Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, and then essentially you're going to have Rob Zombie's remake. And I'm sorry, that definitely is better than the Final Friday. The Final Friday is just fucking horrible. It's a movie I just cannot watch.
I don't know if it's your worst Friday the 13th. It's mine. I forgot if
I had it as mine worse when we did it. It's just,
yeah.
I mean, wherever you land on the Rob Zombie remake, it doesn't make a difference. I'm sorry, but Final Friday is just not even. Aside from the hot FBI chick in the beginning, the rest of the movie is just not enjoyable.
Oh, dude, those deaths though in the diner are good. That's probably one of.
That's about it. Yeah, there's a couple good kills, but and even to compare the characters, I mean, Jason in this, he's not even in it. He gets killed in the beginning. Everybody pretends to be Jason by eating his heart, or it's just ridiculous. So
yeah,
I would definitely take Tyler Mane as Myers over.
The movie had been made before, Pat. We talk about it. The Hidden.
It's The Hidden, which is much better.
Oh.
So the characters in the Rob Zombies remake much better. Soundtrack leaps and bounds. Everything. There's nothing to even compare the characters to. You know, the characters are just not good in this film. I mean, Creighton Duke was okay as a little bit of as a sort of the hunter. You know,
I would think the only thing I could, if I had to create a category, Pat, the final shot of the film, because we see the Freddy glove compared to the final shot of whatever version you're going to talk. Well, no, they're both the same actually, aren't they? In Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Well, no, didn't. No, because
they're not. They're not both the same. Yeah,
and with him getting shot and killed and on the ground.
The Freddy glove popping up. So good stuff.
Yeah, so I don't even want to compare anybody in this. It's a shit show. Hey, John, where you been, man?
Hey, John.
For Michael over Jason, we both do. Both franchises have lasted because of well-developed characters and stories. Michael is more local, in his opinion, a dude whom could live across the street, and that was always the thing. Could be right down the street from you, scare the shit out of you.
Oh yeah,
or live right next door to you, like Mike.
Hey, we got another guy. Look at that, Our boy, our champ.
Yeah, what's up, Ryan, man? How you
See
been?
you, Ryan.
Always never. How's everyone doing? And the ending of H2O doesn't even count. She killed the paramedic, not Michael. Yeah, exactly right.
His larynx were crushed.
His larynx was
Right.
crushed. Yeah, no, not buying that at all. Yeah, complete shit show.
Michael took a page out of our buddies and who were you thinking of? Valentine and Winthorpe in Trading Places. He figured out how to keep that mask on his head.
Yeah, right.
They like taped it on from the inside or something.
Oh, what happened to Winthorpe? Yeah, whatever happened to that guy? The other one looks kind of horny.
He's the female. Female.
All right, here we're going to be comparing Jason X to.
This one's actually pretty tough.
Rob
gotta
Zombie's
choose.
Halloween 2, because I mean, Jason X has got some fun stuff in it. It really does.
Damn. One is so personal and you're kind of like grotesque, right? And the other one you're just having fun with.
Yeah, and then as far as music and soundtrack wise, I mean, come on, you can't compare. Halloween 2 definitely is better.
Both definitely take a different turn on the appearance of the character. Obviously,
This is true. Yeah.
Jason, not until the end, really. The last 20 minutes of the film is where he's Uber.
Michael says Jason X by a mile. Look at that. I don't know. For me, I do like Jason X, but I find myself watching this one more. I don't know why. I just do. I mean, the characters, there's some skin in this, of course, which is always nice.
Yes.
I do like Scout in this as Laurie. She does perform well, but she's a little loud and annoying.
I think she's better in the previous entry, and this is like Annie's film, even though Annie has less screen time.
Yeah, she was just a little bit too noisy in this. Very whiny. I do like Brad Dourif as the sheriff. I think he was great in both movies. And I didn't mind Malcolm McDowell. I didn't like his character in part 2. I didn't think he turning out to be a dick.
I think that's the worst part of it, really. Some people say is how they handled Michael, but I actually like the change. A lot of people probably didn't. I thought it was a nice little different way to go.
Rob Zombie's H2 is so underrated. Yeah, I mean it's sort of coming into its own. There's more and more people, and it definitely has a better soundtrack and score. Yeah.
Hold on, Pat. I'll be right back.
Do it up. Do it. So as far as character wise, see the characters in Jason X, I don't really remember their names. I mean, I've watched it enough to be like kind of forgettable. They're all cute. I mean, everybody's having sex in space, which is awesome. You know, I mean, I'll be long dead before this ever happens. I don't know. I do like Jason X, but I would have to give it to Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. It's one I actually reach for more to watch. Ryan saw H2 opening night, loved it. Sorry, not sorry. It's got its moments of what the fuck, but as a whole, I never disliked it. I just said, okay, it was fun. I saw it opening night, same thing. The beginning, like the first 25 minutes are kick ass. It's great. It just kind of sucked that it was a dream sequence. It would have been great if it was part of the film. Because the whole, if you take the white horse aspect out of it, which we don't need any of that shit. I know he had to shoehorn his wife back into the film. The rest of the film I don't mind. I wasn't the biggest fan of Dick Loomis. I didn't see the necessity for that. They could have did a couple other things there, but as far as the rest of it, the characters, I remember all the characters much better than I remember the characters in Jason X. John says you should do a Trading Places watch closer to Christmas. Maybe a watch of the little-known Eddie Murphy movie, Best Defense. Wow, I haven't watched that one in a long time. Trading Places? We've never done Trading Places. Yeah, maybe that'd be something to do around Christmas time. That would be fun. Jason X was sort of a Friday the 13th means Alien. Yeah, and I don't dislike it, but I would definitely, if it's on a shelf and I'm looking for something to watch, I'm going to reach for RZ's H2. Just me, just my taste. It was like a precursor to the Friday remake. Opening scene was absolutely amazing. Then the rest of the film was serviceable. Good analogy. I can see that. It's true. Yeah, because the beginning of the Friday remake is awesome. And the rest of the film isn't bad, but yeah, it's got its moments where you could have been like, you could have did this a little bit differently, you could have done that a little bit differently. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Cody? Driving through Utah close to those Footloose and Thorn Trilogy locations. Ooh. You gonna hit the Thorn Trilogy locations? That'd be cool as hell. We've been wanting to get out there and hit those places out there. So yeah, for me, I would edge it out to RZ's H2. So let's see. Wow, these guys have not updated any of this since Halloween 2018. So we'll have to go off the cuff. So you got Halloween H2O. And here you would have Freddy versus Jason. So we're going in line with what entry came out around in order. Hey ho, what's up? Not today? Oh, come on, Cody. You got to hit those sites. Go check them out. Friday 09 is his least favorite, but I still love it. It's somewhere around 3/4 of the way through for me. It's got its moments. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, she was the voice of the teacher. Yes, she was. So for me, I like Freddy versus Jason, but I don't know. I was never the biggest Freddy versus Jason guy. Never saw the need for the crossover. And thank the Lord they didn't do the Myers crossover with Hellraiser like they talked about doing with Pinhead. Thank God they didn't do that. That would have really sucked. So I would have to say, see the character. I mean, Jason in this versus. I didn't much care for the Jason in this. I do like James Jude Courtney in 2018. I think he's awesome. But yeah, as a whole, I'd have to give it to 2018 for everything, for the characters, story. I have to give it to soundtrack, the score. I think you're going to beat 2018 because 2018 was just too damn good. All the characters. I do like the one girl in Freddy versus Jason. What the hell is her name? The real cute one. The one that Edward Furlong completely ruined in real life. It is. Freddy versus Jason, if I've seen it 3 or 4 times, it's a lot. And I don't dislike it. It just doesn't do anything for me. Like I said, the characters are just not, memorable. It's Jason is basically like a zombie. Oh, he is a zombie. He's just like a bitch to Freddy the whole movie. It's not the worst movie, but it's just not one I really reach for all that often. Blake sees the goat in the stream. Back to the opening of the original Elm Street movie. Yeah, I mean it's not the worst in the franchise, but it's definitely not one I watch all that much. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, everybody hit that like button. Don't be shy. It won't hurt. It might tickle your fun parts if you do it. And if you haven't subscribed, think about that subscribe button. It's free. It doesn't hurt. By all means, have something to drink. And you don't have to have alcohol, but you guys can have a drink with us tonight. Only thing bad about Freddy is no Kane Hodder. Yeah, but why didn't they use Kane Hodder? I don't know. Why didn't they? Those Friday fanatics, let me know. I mean, I love my Friday the 13th, but certain specific things I do not know, like I know the Halloween franchise. But for me, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna take all the different categories. I think character-wise, story-wise, the score, music, everything in 2018 is definitely much better film than this. Friday the 13th reboot. All right, so unfortunately, we have nothing. We're going to have nothing to compare Halloween Ends to because this is where we're going to throw each other off now because this is the last film, and then we can have to compare it to Halloween Kills. And these guys don't even have Halloween Kills on here, so we're going to be flying off the cuff. Yeah, this horror site. Like I said, I blame myself for partying too much this weekend and not putting anything together. But I do like the reboot. It's got its issues. I do like the characters. I mean, who doesn't love a lot of boobs? Perfect nipple placement. I mean, everybody should go out and see some topless water skiing.
Ooh.
I think that's everybody should have saw this weekend.
Yeah, good film.
They didn't use Kane because he had some offensive tweets. Is that really what it was? Is that why
Really?
they use him? Ken Kersinger as Jason. Oh, that was Ken Kersinger. Is he the one in 2009, or is that Freddy versus Jason?
You're talking Derek Mears is in
Derek Mears is
2009.
Yeah. Okay. Ken Kersinger was the other Jason.
Ken Kersinger was the one, Ronnie, you wanted, I think, for Freddy versus Jason, if I'm correct. So
they wanted someone who was much bigger than Robert. Oh, gotcha.
I like Derek Mears, though. I thought Derek Mears did a good job.
Yeah, I think he was menacing, badass.
Freddy versus Jason or 2018? Is that where we're at, Pat?
Right. Hey, Leanna, better late than never.
Hi, Leanna.
Well, the July
You had a
weekend,
good
what's
holiday.
left of it. Unfortunately, there's another hour and a half on the East Coast left of it.
So
Girls already going to bed. Trying to watch it. It was a super fun 3-day weekend with friends, family, music, movies, excellent food, and a whole lot of booze. Good night. Good night, buddy. Yeah, I'm right there with
Good
you,
night,
man.
Bill.
It was a good weekend. Body's going to be recuperating for the next week.
I took it easy for the most part on the booze part.
I wish I could say the same. Actually, I did, aside from the 4th of July. I went a little bit too much. A little bit.
I kind of had. We went.
I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah, we went crazy on seltzers.
Oh, yeah.
Davey freaking Death Ray.
See, I was just trying to catch up on the chat there. Everybody's just chatting. Okay. Yeah. So for me, Friday 13th, 2009, it's got some good characters, got some good nudity. I don't really remember the score, but I don't remember not liking it. But so you have to compare this to Halloween Kills. Now, one of my favorite things in the entire franchise is that freaking flashback scene. So it's tough. That flashback scene just rules. The Myers house is great. I mean, Halloween Kills would be such a great film if you took all the hospital shit out of it.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I really enjoy parts of 2009 remake. It's tough. I think I would still have to go with Kills, Pat.
Perfect nipples, the boobs, what parts?
I just like some of the kills. I like how we have a sackhead Jason part of the time.
Right.
I love
the
stuff in the water, right? They're in some of the stuff in the water with the boat, and then obviously the kill where the girl's under the deck.
Yes, that was great. Yeah, I mean, the shot of the guy getting it through the eye, a call back to part 3 was great because that just caught me off guard. Like, whoa, holy shit!
I like how he's watching like from outside of the lake where isn't it where she sees him watching?
She sees him. Yeah, he's just standing there like looking badass. Like, yeah, try to get away.
It's kind of like what Frank Riker would have been doing, like filming this movie, the new stuff, right?
Peeking around the site for exactly. Hey, isn't that Frank? But I would say this is tough though because I do like 2009. I would just have to edge it out slightly to Halloween Kills, as far as the better film.
I would too. We got to think about too with Kills. God, of course, the Evil Dies Tonight. God, I tell you, don't you think really how it got released because we had the pandemic all happen and it screwed things up?
Had to wait for a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kills is definitely a better movie, even with its issues. That's why I would have to edge it out. As much as I do enjoy 09, it does. My whole thing is the whole. I know everybody. I've always mentioned to people like, well, I can't stomach him having a hostage, and everybody's like, well, she reminded him of his mother, but it's still he's not wired to keep a hostage.
Yeah. I'd be honest with you, too, Pat. Like out of the David Gordon Green trilogy, the one sheet, I'm a movie poster guy. I think the one sheet for Kills is probably the best of that trilogy. How it's got like the kind of like the shadows of the fire.
Right. True. It's my only problem with the one sheets for the trilogy is the way that the placement of Michael.
He should have been placed the other way and ends like you and I. We've brought that up before.
Exactly. He should have been placed the other way, and in Kills, he should have been looking face forward. So you put all three of them together, and it would have matched. It's just my OCD. Cody's going 09. Well, that's okay. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't blame you.
Then whatever happens with, it's going to be a TV show. We can't determine it because it's probably more than likely that we'll like whatever new Friday the 13th is over ends. Maybe.
I'll take this off there because neither site that I was using. Shout out to Fandom for Horror Film Wiki for the Meyer stuff, and shout out to Friday 13th Wiki. Both of you guys really need to update your shit.
Yes.
So I'm going to get rid of
or
them.
Or Michael Ghostface will come and get you.
Yeah, seriously. So get rid of them because now all we have left is to talk about is Halloween Ends, and we know how divisive that movie is. So, and there's nothing to compare it to because Friday the 13th is one movie short. Put out a movie, damn it, so we can have an equal amount, damn it.
Well, that's right, because it's going to be a TV show, right?
What's that? Yeah, so basically going to be a TV show. Yeah.
Do we not know how many episodes? They haven't really disclosed anything, right?
As far as what? Halloween TV show?
It's just going to be some episodes, right? No, Friday 13th show.
Friday 13th. No, I haven't heard anything really what's going to go on about it. I mean, we saw the shots that Frank got, which looked cool, and
that people used, right?
People stole from him pretty much. I didn't even think of that. He should have really watermarked it or something because he knew people were going to take it just to get some, eyes on their channel.
I didn't know anything about it until he was on this morning about it.
And it wouldn't be so bad if as long as they give him credit, but people didn't give somebody credit for doing it, But I just used these two sites tonight. I was giving them credit. I'm like, I didn't put this together. They did. What's the big deal? Yes, Lito. Yes.
We should have compared posters from each movie, but then again, we were probably biased with that.
Oh, we did that. Remember, we did we compared the posters once before.
Oh shit! So we've kind of done this before. See, Pat, this is getting bad. I can't remember everything.
Yeah. They cut stuff out of kills that should have stayed. They also added stuff that helped the film, though. Yeah, they had too much time. Yeah, with the pandemic, I think they just had too much time to get inside their head.
Yeah, you could have if you could have made the flashbacks, but it cost so much money. They really wanted to make the majority of the film in flashback, if I remember hearing right. Wasn't that the talk?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to make a lot of it a flashback.
It was supposed to, from Chris Nelson when he was on, he said the entire movie was going to be 80% of the movie was going to be a flashback, but the cost was too much. Another reason I fell out of touch with the kills in Friday 13th was that they moved away with the jump scares where the body would drop out of nowhere into the screenshot. Yeah, you don't see that anymore. You really don't see too much of that.
No, you don't.
The staging of the bodies and the jump. I do miss that. That's true. Dave thought the same thing about the posters. Yeah, because why? That's what I was expecting. Because then I could get all three, put them on the wall, and boom, it looked great. Instead, they look stupid.
Yeah,
stupid.
Even though I do like the ends poster where they have Laurie on it with him. That was kind of a cool secondary poster.
Right. I agree. That it irks Cody that Halloween got a 13th movie before 13th. It's true, right? Halloween beat them to the 13th film.
Yeah, we know for sure this stuff got tinkered a bit because of the pandemic. It was unfortunate, but
how about the Never Hike Alone ghost cut? I don't know if I've seen Never Hike Alone, but I don't know what the ghost cut is. What's the difference?
No, I saw Bloody Disgusting. Did anybody watch this fan film that some of the Terrifier people made for Leprechaun? It was like a remake, or it was like a follow up to the original Leprechaun film. Yeah, there was a post on Bloody Disgusting early today. And I got to check it out. I'll go back and find the link for YouTube and check it out. Look pretty cool.
No, let's check it out. Davey used Frank's pictures in the video, but I verbally gave him credit, added his name to the bottom of corner of each shot. Yeah, actually, he said that too, because I saw you put that up there.
Davey. Yeah, if you didn't watch him today, he did, dude.
No, he said that because I had put him on earlier today, and he said no. He's like, Davey asked, then it was, and that's fine. Permission. And I put in the chat. Was like when we did the Tony Moran podcast and everybody was cutting it up and using it, which I didn't give a shit about until those other jackasses decided to put it behind a paywall, and they can all go fuck themselves because, you're going to charge for our podcast? You go suck a dick.
Okay, maybe it's something to talk to Frank about. I'm surprised how far he actually got in for where some of those shots were, though, too, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Yeah. I thought there would have been a lot more security, but he got
then
right
again,
in there.
I know he he's from that town. He said so. Damn.
Yeah, I know it well. West Milford too. I should have took it right over there.
How about them apples?
Yeah, I'm saying that making Kills 8% flashback would have been too expensive. It's such a cop out horseshit. They made so much money. Oh, well, I agree 100%. They made a ton of money. It's just they just don't want to spend it. That's for damn sure. They could have easily did it. It would have been expensive as fuck. Hell yeah, but they had the money. It's just because they didn't want to spend it. That's the whole thing. Let's make it for this.
Hollywood's a business, first and foremost.
It is. It's the movie business. Business. Yeah, Grady Fox. I would have loved to have seen that. I was talking. We were talking about like what's his name? I reached out to Billy Kirkus about coming on the podcast because I'd love to talk to him about some stuff. Never got back to me, but whatever. Because my big thing is like, why can't they get on the same page? Talk to like he's got all that footage and pictures, and then I mean, for Malik to think that like, it wouldn't be worth the investment is bullshit. If they put together a big book with all that video, like a package with all the extra cut video stuff and all those photos into this big giant package for H50, that son of a bitch would sell so fucking fast.
Pat, you
could charge a stupid amount of money because I'm stupid and I would pay for it.
I don't know. I think you brought it up right. If they don't do something for the 50th with that, I don't know if we'll see it in our lifetimes. Could be wrong.
No, they should just. I don't understand it. That's why I want to get him on and talk to him. And be like, dude, what is the block here?
Yeah, I know.
Shit.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, get on the same page. Put it all in this big giant package, and he could put some ridiculous price, like $500-$600 on it, and us fans would gobble that shit up and buy it.
Oh, big
so
time, bud.
So to say you won't make money on it is complete and total bullshit. I'll put it together for fuck's sake. Give me all the shit. I'll put it together.
Damn right.
Fucking A, right? Yeah, so that's our comparison. I mean, Ends, there's really nothing to compare it to, like I said, but we're both fans of Ends. I have no problem with the movie. Do I think it should have been the end of a trilogy? Absolutely not. But as far as the movie, I don't mind it. It's entertaining. Mm-hmm. It's a way they could have went. I personally would have done it at the end of the trilogy, but it's got a good cast. Martin Campbell was great in it. You got some cool kills. The soundtrack was good, so I really have no problem with it.
Yeah, Ron Campbell's not maybe the character. Well, we've talked about it many times. I just wish the character somehow could have been introduced sooner than he was.
Right.
But I don't know how you would have done that.
Well, in 2018, he could have been a student there. They could have known who the student was, intermingled him there, and then you saw this kid. There could have been so many things, but they got inside their heads and just changed things around a little bit too much, and it just is what it is.
The trauma.
Yeah, the trauma.
I swear, I've never heard that word more in my life after those movies were made.
Yeah, really.
Trauma.
Leo says, Brett, how about that beat down tonight?
Oh, you know what he's talking about? 11-0. Just got done on ESPN.
Absolutely.
Matthew Boyd, All-Star. We got a lot of stuff going on, Pat, here in Chicago with that.
Jason franchise mutated once it went to Manhattan and outer space. The Halloween franchise relatively remained true to its core. Even with the zombie films, I think it's better. Yeah, they really didn't go too far off the deep end.
Yeah, Malik Akkad even said that at age 45. The Michael character's never. What are you gonna? Yeah, you can't do that to him. Does he look mutated?
Can't call it cops on him, man. He's
on parole.
He's on the parole.
He just snuck out of the joint.
So that's our comparison. Wow, you know what? It's almost hitting 2 hours here already. So I don't want to go too late tonight since we started late because it's already 10 to 11 here. So let's do a quick movie review. We'll do our top 5. Maybe we'll do our top 5 on Tuesday because it's related to the film that we're doing. Because I know you didn't have a chance to really prepare.
I haven't. I did it because it's an easy one for me. So.
Yeah, so I'd rather wait till then. It'd be fun to do during the watch along.
Okay.
So tonight we are doing a movie review because it just turned 40 this past Thursday. We'll do a movie review of Back to the Future. So let's do a quick intro while I type it all out. Where is it? Right there. There we go. Yeah, tonight, movie review of Back to the Future, because we'll be watching it this Tuesday night as our watch along to celebrate 40 years. I cannot believe this movie's 40 years old. Holy shit. Man, we just keep doing these anniversary movies, man. It's making me feel even older. Damn.
Fucking unbelievable.
So I'm going to let you start yours because I'm going to take a leak.
Okay, yeah, this is a top 5 film of all time for me. It's probably a lot of people's.
I'll be right back.
I saw this. This is one of the first movies I recall seeing in the theater. God, my brother saw it in the theater. My brother is 7 years older than me, so he must have saw us in the theater, I think 6 times, he had said. So he took me one of the times at a young 5-year-old to go see this film at such a young age. But it was just, I didn't know anything like about the making of it and everything. You just knew it was a time travel film. And I thought the DeLorean, Michael J. Fox, I loved Michael J. Fox around this time. Teen Wolf is another one of my favorite films. It's silly, but it's fun. I was a big fan of Family Ties. Christopher Lloyd, now I really only knew Christopher Lloyd from this at the time, but I soon found my love for Taxi later on as I got older. So, in Taxi, he's just a nut house, just like he is in this film. But I love the direction. Robert Zemeckis is a Chicago guy. He's a great filmmaker. And we have our Halloween Zone Dean Cundy behind the camera. So damn good. The soundtrack. Oh, the score, Alan Silvestri score. So damn good. Huey Lewis in the news for his songs in it. And then when you get into 1955 and just all the old music with the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, just all the classics. Yeah. Oh God, Johnny Be Good. Oh, so good. I love James Tolkien as Principal Strickland. He plays a good jerk. But come on, Biff. Biff Tannen, Thomas Wilson, so damn good as a good villain. And I'm trying to think what else I want to say about this film. But I love the music. It didn't need a sequel, obviously, but it was so damn popular, you just had to do it. The sequels are fine. I enjoy the sequels. It's probably not nearly as they're not nearly as good as the original film, but they're definitely acceptable. I give this a 10 out of 10. That's how much I love this film. So 10 out of 10, Pat. I don't give too many 10 out of 10s, and you don't either. So,
and truth be told, I asked him earlier. Miserable Mike, who hates everything, gave this a 10 out of 10.
How many people really? Whew.
Yeah, he's like, no, it's a 10 out of 10. I'm like, look at you.
Yeah, Pat, and I'm sure you saw this in the theater probably at least many a times or once.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater opening weekend. I remember seeing, because people got to remember Michael J. Fox was big because of Family Ties, so it was we couldn't wait to see it. Colin was 11 when it came out, so 85. I was.
Yeah, Colin's my brother's age, so yeah, that.
I was 13. Teen Wolf is another one we'll be watching too. Love Teen Wolf.
Same year.
Colin prefers Teen Wolf over Future. Wow, I'm not going to argue because I love Teen Wolf.
I love Teen Wolf too.
Future is a 10.
Not the TOO sequel, but I love Teen Wolf as well. Not that Jason Bateman debacle. Even though I should watch it again. It's been 40 years.
Seen this movie back then because, like I said, he was big. Michael J. Fox was good. Also, Christopher Lloyd was still big too, because it was only I think Taxi only ended a year or two before that. Mm-hmm. So he was popular. I'm trying to think of who else in that. I think they were really the only people that were the real big breakout stars at the time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Crispin Glover as well. But yeah, this is your time.
Yeah, Crispin Glover really wasn't a breakout star, but he was fantastic and he was great. He wasn't like this big. I mean, the biggest people were pretty much Christopher Lloyd and Michael J. Fox at the time, and he was just so great in it. He was entertaining. He was funny in it. I love the little cameo of Huey Lewis. That was always the best when he was there. He was just too darn loud. That was great.
Next, please.
And just going back to it, because you also got to remember there was still nostalgia too at this time too for the 50s. So by going back to the 50s, it was still pretty nostalgic stuff. Even with my parents, I remember when they saw this, they loved it too, because it was taken back to that time and place, and they remember the dances and everything. Mm-hmm. And it was paced well. it had been suspense because she didn't know if he was going to get Back to the Future or not, because if he didn't get that 1
He's
point,
disappearing.
he didn't get, was it 1.1.4 gigawatts? What the hell the gigawatts were? I forget.
He could only get it through a bolt of lightning.
And that's right. His sister was the annoying girl. What the hell was her name?
Lorraine? Oh no,
No,
the other girl.
the one she was the wife in Bachelor Party, Tom Hanks' sister-in-law that beat the shit out of the brother. You said no hookers. Her. She's dead now. I think she died young. I forget what the hell her name was. But remember they started to disappear because he didn't think he was going to get back in time, because then it would erase everything.
That's right.
And just the gotcha moments, like some of the one-liners, like, okay, who's the president in 1985? Ronald Reagan. The actor?
The actor?
That, or when he's sitting there, he's talking about the honeymooners, and he's saying, I've seen this one. They're like, it's a lie. What do you mean? Just stuff like that. Or she's calling him Calvin because she sees his underwear says Calvin Klein. Is it his name?
Pat, this is going to tell you something as I started connecting like movie knowledge of like guys from other films, I had no idea that Dave McFly's brother was the same actor that was Jimmy in the Superman movies. I had no idea until probably 10 years ago. Mark McClure, I think's his name.
Something like that. Yeah. It was Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah. I was like, shit, how did I not know that?
Oh, right. Leanna Gray. They look at it's uncle. Yeah. Better get used to those bars. Because remember,
we use that line all the time in our family, of course, when the kids were younger.
That's her, Wendy Jo Sperber. Yeah, she died young from what I remember. I think from cancer, but she was funny as hell as the crazy wife in Bachelor Party. And he cries whenever we take him out. Yeah.
What was it? Lorraine's mother's the same mom from Gremlins. I forget the actress's name, but remember, she's the same mother.
Yeah, she is. That's right.
I should know her name.
But there's no. I mean, it's just a perfect movie. There's nothing bad about this film, and yeah, this movie is a 10. There's nothing. I'm looking forward. I haven't watched it in a bit, so I'm really looking forward to Tuesday night. And so our top 5 tonight was going to be our top five sitcom characters turned movie stars, which I thought was going to be pretty cool and related to Michael J. Fox. But you know what? I think because we're almost hitting 2 hours here, and it's going to be 11 here, so I got a few things to do since we start a little bit later. So we'll save that top 5. So everybody do your homework. Don't throw it in the chat. Save it, and we'll do it on Tuesday night when you guys come back.
Good morning, Mrs. Deagle. Francis Lee McCain. That's Lynn Peltzer.
That's it. Yep. Bachelor Party's amazing. I love the poor guy. You said no hookers. He's beating the shit out of him. Yeah, Bachelor Party's one we have to do. Yeah, do your homework. So for our top 5, we'll do it on Tuesday night when we watch Back to the Future. Is top 5 sitcom stars who became movie stars. Do your homework, folks. Yeah, because this way we'll get out of here just under 2 hours. It's 11 o'clock here. Like I said, we started an hour later, so I do apologize.
Yep, that was I was traveling, so thank you, Pat, for.
Brett was traveling. I still had a house full of people in the back. We were barbecuing a little bit, so that's why I put it off a little bit. So everybody do their homework, and we'll pick that up on Tuesday night. So we'll get the hell out of Dodge. Everybody do us a favor. Hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And make sure you come back on Tuesday night because we're going to be watching it. For those that are tuning in now, obviously you don't know we cannot broadcast the film. It was weird. One channel the other night was broadcasting. What the hell movie were they watching? Some big channel on YouTube, and I'm like, how are you guys doing this? Oh, it's almost like I forget what the hell it was. It was one of the huge channels. Maybe it was a movie that I don't know. It's like they were showing it on a TV screen on the thing.
Really?
I should have wrote down who it was.
Yeah, I look forward to Tuesday, Pat. I've got a few collectibles that we can show during it too, because it's
Get it all out. Yeah, we want to see it. Whip it all out.
Whip it all out. One of my better one sheets of autographs for sure. So.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna get the hell out of here. You hang out. We'll say a quick goodbye since we didn't get a chance to even talk before. And Daniel says Jason is cool, but Pamela is cooler, but Michael is numero uno. I'll have to agree with you there. Awesome. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Hit that like, subscribe, all that fun shit, and make sure you come back on Tuesday night because we'll be having a blast celebrating 40 years of Back to the Future.
Yeah. Thanks for joining tonight, guys. Thanks for keeping Pat company.
Yeah, thanks for keeping me company while we wait for Brady. And we'll see everybody on Tuesday. Later.
Good night.